Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, working hard to make Bengals fandom a Fifth Third better. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. Week number 4 in the sun setting over the Queen City, Paul Brown Stadium, the site, Colts and Bengals. Indy has won the coin toss. They will defer, but first, Mike Valpredo with 16th-year head coach Marvin Lewis.
Coach, all kinds of measurable positives this entire preseason. How do you guys put a bow on this tonight?
Well, we want to go out and play fast. We got guys who are competing for jobs not only here but across the league, so it's a great opportunity for them to go out and compete and win jobs.
Off the field, the big signings this week, the extensions for Carlos and Gino. How much does that do for the locker room and get these guys all ready to roll?
Well, it's great for those two guys and great for the football team.
Nothing wrong with going perfect in the preseason, right?
That's right.
All right, guys, looking to go 4-0. Here we go.
Thanks, Mike. With Anthony Munoz, Mike Watts alongside. Well, this is one unique circumstance. Week 4 of the preseason, week 1 of the regular season, Anthony.
It really is. There's some guys here that have starting positions locked, and they're saying, okay, let's get through this game, and let's go to Indy on the 9th. And there's other guys, as we talked about in the opening, they're saying, I'm still fighting for a job. I want to make that trip to Indy on the 9th.
Darius Phillips is back deep to return, the 22-year-old native of Detroit, Michigan, out of Western Michigan in the MAC. Michael Bagley ready to kick off, and Badgley drives it away. Phillips from the end zone. Let this fly out. And here comes the Cincinnati offense. It's led by Matt Barkley.
Mike, we talked about that offensive line, and we talked about the right side. Bobby Hart, who's been starting all preseason, is in there at the starting right tackle, along with Alex Redmond at right guard. So a new combination there. Usually Trey Hopkins is starting there at right guard, but we have a couple guys in there that are still fighting for spots, as we talked about.
Mark Walton is the deep back, and the handoff goes to the right-hand side. Walton gobbled up after maybe a 3-yard pickup. Tonight's first quarter scoreboard is presented by Fifth Third Bank, working hard to make Bengals fandom a Fifth Third better. Walton, one of those guys who would really like to have a breakout game against these Colts. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Barkley to throw. And fires that incomplete.
That was number 80, Josh Malone, on the slant, and that ball was thrown behind him by Matt Barkley, allowing the defender to get a hand on it.
Pierre Desir in on the coverage.
Talked about Mark Walton. I think that's one of the areas, of course, from last year to this year. Not a whole lot better last week, but the running game. They got to get some push up front and get those running backs moving.
3rd and 7 for Barkley, who fires over the middle, and it's batted down, incomplete. Zaire Franklin and Andre Tolliver in on the defense, and Cincinnati will go 3 and out.
Now, Mike, that was just an excellent play by Tolliver. I thought that ball was well thrown by Barkley, but Tolliver getting his hand in there to knock it down.
Kevin Huber back to punt. Well, we know he'll be making the trip to Indy. Back deep to return, Zach Pascal. Pascal finds a bit of a hole, wrapped up at the 35 and leans forward to the 37-yard line. 52-yard punt. Mason Schreck there to bring him down.
Talking about a lot of these positions that are, a lot of these guys that are fighting for jobs, and right there, punt return, punt coverage, kickoff return, special teams, I think will determine a lot on some of these guys that aren't the starters to make this football team.
Jacoby Brissett started 15 games last year in place of the injured Andrew Luck. He didn't start opening day, but started every game after that. A 25-year-old native of West Palm Beach, Florida, and North Carolina State, a 3rd-round pick of the Patriots. Robert Turbin is the deep back in a 2 wide receiver set on 1st and 10. And on play action, Brissett fires and completes. Eric Swope able to make that move out. Or gain of about 8. Time to take a look at our players to watch for this evening.
Darius Phillip and Brandon Wilson will be getting a lot of playing time. The rookie from Western Michigan and the 2nd-year player from Houston. Guys that hopefully we call their names quite a bit.
Brissett to hand off. And this is Turbin trying to get the edge. Finally brought down by Hardy Nickerson Jr. He's got enough for a 1st down.
Another guy that was there, the initial contact, number 20, Kavari Russell. Another guy that we'll be looking for, but Nickerson makes the tackle. Russell had a chance to bring him down there, but missed the tackle. One thing we know tonight is these guys will be playing hard because they know how important this game is for them.
Brissett, little handoff. This is Turbin across midfield to the 49. Turbin will miss the first 4 games of the regular season, a violation of the NFL's performance-enhancing drug policy. He's been dealing with an ankle injury in camp.
See Nickerson, number 56, along with Jordan Ellis. Carl Lawson in there at the defensive end.
After a pickup of 3, Colts into Cincinnati territory, and this is dropped by Cason Williams. Former undrafted player. Actually was with Cincinnati after the 2015 draft, but was released.
Good protection there by the Colts offensive line. That ball was thrown really well by Brissett, but just flat out dropped. We see some young defensive linemen that can get a lot of playing time during the regular season, and they're starting the game. I mentioned Jordan Willis, you have Carl Lawson in there, and you have Sam Hubbard.
Anthony, there's no weak link up there.
I'm sorry?
No weak link at all.
No, there really isn't. You can't say, okay, these guys are playing to fight for a spot. I would imagine these guys, if I was a betting man, these guys are going to make the squad. They're just getting some extra playing time because you're not going to get Geno Atkins out there, Carlos Dunlap, or guys like that. So these are the guys that are going to get quite a few snaps tonight.
See Josh Tupou there in the middle of it all, sprained his MCL, 91. Middle of the defense, missed about a month of camp, so this may be his best chance to make an impression. 1st down and 10, and it's handoff up the middle, and Robert Turbin stood up for no gain.
Defense is pointing like
they think this ball's out.
Yep. They're all pointing.
Officials trying to sort this out. Lawson is at the bottom of the pile.
Talked about Jordan Willis, the defensive end, but also Jordan Evans, number 50, the linebacker.
It is Cincinnati football. At the bottom is Brandon Bell. It's the 2nd turnover he's been a part of this preseason.
Well, that was hard to see. It had to come out just before he hit the ground because he had it secured on the way down. But we'll take it.
Well, and that's a big moment for a guy like Brandon Bell, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, create turnovers, recover fumbles, making tackles, get your name called quite a bit, and definitely going to help you.
Well, there you see the turnover differential numbers, and really that's been a big point of contention with Darrell Austin coming in, the new defensive coordinator from Detroit, trying to make turnovers a part of practice, make it part of the philosophy, and try and make it part of games again.
Well, and when you listen to the head coaches, when they talk about keys to winning football games, you know, they talk about running the ball, stopping the run, but also the turnovers, you know, getting more than the opposing team. So, yeah, that is one area that Coach Austin really emphasizes.
Matt Barkley's 2nd drive will unload up the sideline.
Got him.
Makes the catch and falls out incomplete. Well, John Ross almost went back to the well like he did in Buffalo. Chris Milton is in on the coverage.
Well, Matt Barkley just showed that he can throw the football a long way, and Ross had his guy beat and just dropped it. Excellent throw by Matt Barkley. Good protection by that offensive line. Wow. That was almost 65 yards in the air there.
There was no point where you could do that, right?
I'll tell you what, oh my goodness, that should have been 6.
Well, Ross off to the bench, and Barkley hands off left tackle. This will be a loss of a couple of yards for Walton. And you think about that quarterback position, Matt Barkley, that's the kind of throw where you really can't blame him for that, right? But it doesn't show up on the final stats.
You're right, and you look at the stats here, and you know, Jeff Driscoll has the edge on it, but man, you make a throw like that, that's 6 points, and that goes in your favor, but it's dropped.
Barkley to throw, and he completes. Kermit Whitfield, and well, he lost the ball.
I think we might have roughing the passer here.
Barkley slow to his feet, and there is a flag back at the 30.
Roughing the passer, defense, number 57, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Whitfield's going to be pinching himself a bit here because that was, well, right on the money again for Barkley.
We'll take a look here and see the hit. Oh, that was a low hit there. Man. You've got to stay away from the quarterback's legs. I'm glad to see Matt get up after that one.
That's Toure, the second-round pick out of Rutgers for the Colts. So it's into Indianapolis territory for Cincinnati, and this is Whitfield. He's got room. Cutting back at the 40, has first down yardage, and ducks down inside the 35. Toure is in on the stop, and Whitfield immediately atones.
And you'll see number 82, Ethan Carter, leading the way out there, who's actually tight end, kind of a fullback. He's used to blocking, and Kermit Whitfield doing a nice job. Nice little misdirection, pulling to the right and handing it back the other way to Kermit. Nice run, good blocks out in front.
Well, there's a change of quarterback here. Driscoll just came in off the bench, as motion man is Erickson. And rolling away, this is Driscoll. Looking to run, and slides down short of the first down marker at the 27. So there's a fly in the ointment here.
I looked down, and the orthopedics doctor is with Matt Barkley on the bench. Therefore, Driscoll comes in. And you can see how Jeff Driscoll can extend plays with his legs. He rolls out, does a smart thing, doesn't see anybody open, so he takes it, but does an even smarter thing. As the Colts approach him, he slides.
So Driscoll running the offense here. Jordan Franks in motion into slot left. And the deep man is Walton. Walton breaking through. Inside the 20. And by Tharisi.
Great acceleration and vision by Walton right there. He's going to the left, and he sees an opening to the right. And he gets up a little slow, but man, what a nice run. Big hole created by that offensive line. Again, it's just not a matter of getting the football and running it up there, but he had great vision and cutback ability. Took it back, not all the way to the right, but cut it back for a nice gain.
Walton has struggled 12 carries, 2 yards in preseason. This is Trey Carson. Continues to pump his feet forward. There's Barkley getting looked at, and well, that sort of that changes everything in the backup quarterback position if Barkley is injured on the sideline.
I believe it's the left knee that they're checking. You hate to see that when you're in the midst of a quarterback battle like he is with Jeff Driscoll. You hate to have an injury be a factor in it.
Auden Tate split out to the bottom of your screen. And Driscoll fires, looking for the end zone, tipped up and incomplete. Target was Ethan Carter.
I believe it was 49 Matthew Adams who got the hand on it. Right here, right in the middle, just gets up with the left hand. Driscoll trying to hit Carter, as you said. Nice play by the linebacker there. Indianapolis Colts. It's amazing. You can tell I'm an old guy. I almost said the Baltimore Colts.
Ross is checked in at the top of your screen. Driscoll throws over the middle. He completes here to Carson, the running back. And he's right near the line of gain at the 7 with Tolliver in on the stop. And you see John Ross there again, and obviously drops that ball right at the goal line. It seems almost rookie-ish. One step forward, one step back, and they're trying to get that, well, that consistent play out of a guy that everyone knows has this unbelievable skill.
Well, Mike, consistency, that's a great word. You got to, you know, when you're wide open, you beat people with that speed, and the ball is laid in there perfectly. You have to make the catch. It's those tough catches that maybe have people question you, but not the easy ones. Not that it's easy, but it was right there for him to catch.
Stretch play to the right, diving towards the end zone. Trey Carson is short. Carson picks up 7. Cincinnati has 4 first downs on this drive.
You see right here, nice job by the offensive line. It's a little stretch. Trey Carson sees the hole, cuts it back. You know, we talk about other positions, but you look at Joe Mixon, Giovanni Bernard, but then you got Mark Walton, Trey Carson. I'm sure we'll see Brian Hill. Some pretty good running backs there behind Bernard and Mixon.
Driscoll, Carson cutting back, and he is in for the touchdown. Some extracurriculars at the goal line. No question about this. Cincinnati, a 6-0 lead. For Trey Carson, his 2nd touchdown of the preseason.
Right here, nice movement. I only saw one white jersey penetrate the line. Everybody else is getting moved backwards, and that's what you need. You need movement by that offensive line. Move those defensive linemen. You don't necessarily have to move them back, 2-3 yards. Stalemate does it, and let the running back make a decision.
Huber to hold. John Brown, the extra point is up and good. So Cincinnati, a 10-play drive spanning 59 yards. And after forcing a turnover, mission accomplished for the offense, a 7-0 lead.
Back inside Paul Brown Stadium, where today's injury report brought to you by TriHealth, the official healthcare partner of the Cincinnati Bengals. And the news, guys, from Matt Barkley, not good. Number 7 has been walked back to the locker room. He is done for the evening. So Jeff Driscoll and then Logan Woodside, the rookie from Toledo, guys, we can now definitely expect to see action at some point. Matt Barkley, again, will not return.
Thank you, Mike. And, well, for Matt Barkley, that is devastating. Obviously, a guy out of USC with a ton of promise. And it was interesting talking to him all the way back in OTAs. He was the face of that university during a really tumultuous time, as this from John Brown goes through the back of the end zone. And he pointed to guys like you, Anthony, that came in and were key to the program sort of surviving those times. And, well, by the time he came out as a senior, his draft stock had slid a little bit. And, well, it's disappointing that he won't get a chance to really fight for this.
It really is. And, through those tough times, he could have very easily left. He was, highly ranked after his junior year, but he stayed. He fought through it, and it was up to guys, like myself and Ronnie Lott, Marcus Allen, guys that went to school there and played there. We were always around, even through the tough times. So we were really, really impressed with Matt Barkley, and you hate to see an injury take him out of a battle.
Well, he said his faith was the one constant during that time. That won't change. Jacoby Brissett firing this deep. Pass go! Incomplete. C.J. Goodwin on the coverage. For all the talk that we might just see a lot of running in this game, a couple early shot plays, and maybe even a grin from Marvin Lewis.
And we've talked about the defensive backs. Goodwin is one of the guys we talk about, and we know that he's got to go out there and play well. Does an excellent job right here getting up to the highest point of the football and breaking up that pass. So, again, C.J. Goodwin doing a nice job on that coverage.
Big moment for the college wide receiver turned corner out of California in Pennsylvania. Empty set for Jacoby Brissett. And he's pressured, trying to get away, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard is there, continuing what's been a dominant preseason from the rookie out of Ohio State.
Sam Hubbard's got to give Jordan Willis a little high five on that one, because number 75 kind of disrupted things right there, kind of flushed them out. And then Sam Hubbard, who is a go 100 miles an hour the entire time, just right there, just make sure he doesn't allow Brissett to get out of his grasp there. So good play by those defensive ends. Willis and Hubbard.
Hubbard was supposed to go play lacrosse in college, but Urban Meyer saw him playing, of all things, dodgeball, and well, look at how this turned out. Brissett on 3rd down and 19, throws short, and near the first down marker. Is that enough? Michael has a first down, 20-yard gain.
Number 72, Braden Smith, has his hands full over there on the right side with Sam Hubbard. Once again, he's in there, but Brissett doing a nice job dumping it off. But it is fun to watch these young defensive ends, these young defensive linemen get after it.
For Michael, that's his 4th catch of the preseason, going for 29 yards. Brissett will hand off, and the counter from Michael. Trying to dodge his way outside across the 40-yard line. Brought down by Kivare Russell. And these defensive backs have some an uphill climb, others not so much, but this game means a lot for, well, pretty much everyone who's going to play back there.
It really does, and they should be slapping 5 to these defensive linemen, because it helps them out quite a bit too when they get that pass rush, which they've been getting all preseason.
Cason Williams in motion, and on the out route gets drilled as he pulls that in. Russell on the coverage, and it's short of the first down stick.
Nice tackle by Kivare Russell, the 3rd-year player out of Notre Dame. Doing a nice job. He gives up the reception, but he comes up quickly to make the tackle. And he's not that far off the coverage.
And that'll keep the drive moving. Michael at the bottom of the pile with Brandon Bell jumping off of him. Michael looks like he's a little banged up, holding his left arm awkwardly as he trudges off.
That was a hard run by Michael. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Just Michael.
Out of Beaumont, Texas, and Texas A&M, a 2013 draft pick of the Seahawks. And Tion Green was just released. Marlon Mack, is he going to be available for week 1? Brissett, this is a draw play. And Turbin gets hit on the spot by Hardy Nickerson Jr. right when he got through the hole.
Texas A&M, the same school that produced Cedric Ogbuehi and Trey Carson for the Cincinnati Bengals football team. Wow, nice tackle by Hardy Nickerson Jr.
Nickerson's had a good camp. His dad on the All-Decade team in the 1990s. Now the defensive coordinator at Illinois.
Had a chance to play against his dad early in his career, late in my career.
Was that fun?
It was. He was an excellent football player and a great guy.
Brissett throws over the middle. It's his tight end, Ross Travis. Stopped up by Malik Jefferson. And it's another 3rd down and short.
Malik Jefferson, one of the draft picks in this last draft. You see him right here. Nice tackle, making sure he wraps him up. You know, that's one of the things I've noticed throughout this whole preseason. The tackling by the Bengals defense has been solid. It's not, let's get a big hit and see if he goes down, but they wrap him up and take him down. That's been very impressive.
It's 3rd down and 2. Brissett certainly a running threat. Brissett steps into the pocket, throws, hits Cason Williams. And now Indianapolis 4 for 4 on 3rd downs, and the chains move for the Colts.
Smart calls by the Colts. They know that that pass rush has been getting there, so they've been quick drops, getting rid of the football quickly, and they've been completing a couple of those. Jacoby Brissett doing a nice job there, unloading it in a hurry.
Steve Ishmael has come in at wide receiver for Indianapolis at the top of your screen. There's 100 ticks to go on the first quarter clock. His 4th preseason matchup. Brissett will roll, followed by Hubbard, throws, completes at the sideline, a flag flies. Ishmael steps out of bounds.
Kivare Russell was on the ground, so I don't know, was he pushed off or?
I think the flag is probably in that neck of the woods.
Interference, offense, number 3, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
That's why Russell was on the ground. Steve Ishmael pushed off. Call against the Colts. Really didn't see it there at the end.
John Perry, nearly 2 decades of NFL experience. You'll take their word for it.
Exactly.
Makes it 1st and 20 in the final minute of the first quarter from the 48. And this is a good run for Turbin. Flag flies in. Turbin showing good burst. Looks like this will come back on a hold.
That's a
Holding,
drive killer.
Offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Deshaun Bond there, making that Mr. Bond, number 69.
Out of the University of Cincinnati.
That's right, Bearcat. 2 big penalties here, killing the drive. They were marching, now they're going backwards.
Doesn't have a license to hold.
Exactly.
Well, you're going to need to really use your arithmetic to pull this together. First down and 28.
Only good thing about it, it's first down.
3 penalties now, 35 yards for the Colts as Brissett misfires here. Boy, is there another flag down. There's been laundry strewn all over the field. This one may go against Cincinnati.
Illegal use of hands, hands to the face, defense, number 79. 5-yard penalty with an automatic. First down.
Oh, well, Indianapolis has dug out of that 28-yard hole.
You have a young guy in there, getting some playing time, number 79, Simeon Robinson. I tell you, look, got the hand a little too high into the face.
Robinson trying to make his way in the middle of this defensive front. So it's first down and 10. Brissett drops to throw. He'll throw this deep up the right sideline and misses, incomplete. Shontavious Jones, who caught a 53-yard bomb from Brissett earlier in the preseason, was covered by Russell.
Kevian Russell doing an excellent job pressing the wide receiver towards the sideline. Using that sideline as a tool here. You'll see him inside position, and there's really not a whole lot of room for him to catch that football. Shontavious Jones was all out of bounds. A good job by Russell.
Believe it or not, 12th play of the drive here. Brissett able to step through and then fires this into the turf. Incomplete. Well, the third down has been very good to the Colts so far.
Sorry, Mike, another linebacker that's playing well, the rookie out of Ohio State. Chris Worley came on that blitz. Brissett was hurried, more pressure front side. So it's not like they're just letting those front 4 rush. They're bringing some pressure from other guys. So that's good to see, especially in this last preseason game.
Worley, one of 3 Buckeyes, part of this group coming in. Billy Price and Hubbard, both drafted. Worley undrafted. Third down and 10. Jacoby Brissett firing and completes to the far sideline for Reese Fountain, the 5th-round pick who's on the bubble after tweeting immediately after being drafted that the Colts had just gotten the steal of the draft.
You hate to see this, first and forever, and they get a first down on that one. Wow. Bengals had him backed up quite a bit. That's a 1st and 10 on 35.
And the first quarter will come to a close. Bengals do force a turnover, and they do turn it into 7 points. And after 1 quarter complete in the 4th preseason game, Cincinnati 7, Indianapolis nothing. Fifth Third Bank offers you a way to be a Fifth Third better Bengals fan. Bengals Banking offers built-in perks for the most loyal Bengals fans. Visit Bengals.com/53 to learn how you can take advantage of Bengals banking. 7-0 Cincinnati lead as we head into the second quarter. I'm joined as always by the Cincinnati Director of Player Personnel, Duke Tobin. Duke, thanks for taking a little time with us.
You bet, guys. You bet.
Duke, this has to be the most difficult week of your year, trying to piece together the 53 you want to move forward with.
You're right, because there's a lot of guys that are giving everything they have out here today. A lot of guys that we have a lot of regard for. We don't have enough spots for them all, and that's just the nature of the business. And there's a lot of great effort going on out here, and this is a tape that we're going to study hard.
Let's take a look at our first quarter stats as Cincinnati has 7-0 advantage over the Colts. They're brought to you by Gold Star. And, well, this team able to run the football a little bit. Mark Walton showing a nice burst. That always helps.
Yeah, you know, it'll be a big game for all those backup running backs. You know, we're looking for guys that can move the chains. We're looking for guys that can break tackles. We want guys that can hold up in pass protection. Because, you know, the first thing to get on the field is you got to show up in pass protection.
Big hole here, diving for the end zone, and just short is Michael at the 2.
Duke, we talk about guys that are fighting for roster spots, guys that want to make that 53, but there's a couple of guys out there that I'm not going to say, you know, because I don't make the decisions, but I would imagine number 75 and 94 are going to make the team. And they are out there like they're fighting for a roster spot, and that's Willis and Hubbard.
Yeah, and that's just their nature. We're down at that position group, so, you know, we've got to play the guys we have. We can't put DBs in those spots, and we can't put offensive tackles in those spots. So they have to play, and they're giving the effort, and that's what they always do.
Yeah, you don't want to have to put an offensive tackle. That would be ugly.
Offensive tackles can do anything.
Michael gets stopped there in the backfield. That linebacker position is difficult. Nickerson there, a good stop.
Yeah, a lot of young linebackers. They're battling maybe for the last roster spot on the 53. Also practice squad spots. You know, we've got 10 practice squad spots that are up for grabs. And you know, this is a big game, and we'll be looking around the league, and the other teams are going to be looking at our film here too. So these guys aren't just playing for jobs with us; they're playing for jobs with other teams as well.
Whistle blows here. Looks like Frank Reich may not liked what he saw there. Referee's actually pointing.
It looks like they're gonna take a player off here to get him checked for concussion. It looks like.
Well, you never want to see injuries in games like this, Duke, and obviously watching Matt Barkley go down on that drive midway through the first quarter is disappointing for everybody.
It's exactly what we don't want. You know, these guys have put a lot of work, a lot of time to be able to come out here on the field and show. And when that happens early on in the game like that, it doesn't give them the opportunity to show. It's exactly what we're not looking for. And you know, it was a low hit. It was flagged, and unfortunately for us, you know, he loses his opportunity. I don't know how severe it is. We'll find out after the game, but it's something that's concerning, and it's certainly something that we don't want to see.
Well, especially the way he started. He made some good throws early on, and you see him go down and not have a chance to play however long he was going to play. Yeah, that's got to.
Those quarterbacks put more time in than anybody, and those guys have put a ton of time in. For this opportunity, you know, him to get the start today, it's a big opportunity. I feel bad for him, I really do.
Jacoby Brissett looking like he's covered in Vaseline, getting away from the entire defense, eventually getting out of bounds. When you think about the offense, that wide receiver position, maybe a bit unsettled. Do you keep 5? Do you keep 6? And within those numbers, then who makes it and who doesn't?
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, you're not just battling within your position group, you're battling within the other position group. So do you keep 6 wideouts or an extra player somewhere else? So the last guy in each group is battling against the last guy in another group.
Zach Pascal makes the catch in the end zone. It's his second touchdown receiving of the preseason. And Cincinnati, a 7-6 lead with the point after on the way.
I guess that's the thing that really, I mean, where you got to sit down with your team and exactly what you talked about. It's just not, okay, we have this many guys at the linebacker, so let's keep just this many. But it's like you said,
you want to protect the guys that you really don't want to lose. You know you're going to have an inactive list, so really the position behind the guy that's on the inactive list isn't as important. It's the guys that you want to protect for your future the most. And so those last few spots, it's a puzzle as you get to put it together for sure.
Well, Duke, really appreciate the time. This was great.
You bet, guys. Good job.
Thanks, Duke.
Cincinnati and Indianapolis, 7-all early second quarter. Bengals football is here. Players and fans all get ready for game day in their own unique way. And no matter how you prepare for the game, we all come together right here at Paul Brown Stadium to seize the day. Tickets available now by calling the Bengals ticket hotline 513-621-8383 or by going to Bengals.com. Seize the day. Phillips will not seize this kickoff. Launches it over his shoulder. And we'll take another timeout. Just enough time for you to call and get those season tickets. Back with more after this. Catch catch up on Bengals action throughout the week, join us for Bengals Line, live from the Holy Grail, 6 to 9 p.m. every Monday. Then tune in on Wednesdays, 6 to 8 p.m. Bengals Game Plan, presented by Bud Light. Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. Bengals Pep Rally live from Buffalo Wings and Rings. And of course, all the games with Wayne Boxmiller and Dan Hort and Dave Lapham. And well, the schedule is set to begin in about 10 days' time. Anthony, can you believe it?
I know, ready to roll. They start out in Indy, but home against the Ravens Thursday night. I know I'm going to be here.
Well, you have to be there. There's a lot going on. It's an I formation for Cincinnati on 1st down and 10. And Driscoll off play action. Throws over the middle. And hits Brian Hill. There's the home schedule. So we're talking 30th anniversary of that Super Bowl team against Baltimore Ravens. What a great way to open up the Thursday night slate in the NFL.
It'll be fun. I believe there's going to be like 45 members of that team here, which is going to be exciting Thursday night against the Ravens as we open up the home schedule with the win against the Ravens.
How many from the practice squad?
What practice squad?
Different time.
Yep.
2nd and 5. Hill stood up and still fighting for more yardage. Lele and Delaire standing him up.
You know, we have Trey Hopkins at left guard now. He's been playing most of the time at right guard. Christian Westerman playing right guard, so they've kind of switched the things around there. Hopkins playing next to Cedric Ogbuehi at left tackle, and Jake Fisher playing right tackle.
Motion man is Jordan Franks. It's 3rd down and less than a yard. And it's off left tackle. It's enough for a 1st down. Chris Milton getting in there after the 1st down. This offensive line is, well, it's complicated right now. Right tackle Cedric Ogbuehi moving over, battling with Bobby Hart, and then Redmond and Hopkins among those at right guard.
Well, you got right tackle there, Cedric Ogbuehi, but right now he's playing left tackle, and Jake Fisher's playing right tackle. So it's, you know, again, if you're a backup, the more you can do, but you're still got to be versatile. You got to be able to play more than one position if you're the backup.
Driscoll, 1st down. Flag is down. Driscoll ran out of time. Throws a lame duck into the sideline. Mason Schreck was closest to it. Matthew Adams went in. And it looks like this will be coming back.
Holding, offense, number 74, 10-yard penalty replay, 1st down.
That's Jake Fisher, the 25-year-old out of Oregon, that 2nd-round pick in 2015, dealt with the irregular heartbeat in November, had surgery, out for 7 months, and a guy that I think a lot of people know have talent, but right now, if he doesn't put it all together, it's going to be tough sledding.
You're right. I mean, it's time to produce as a number 2 pick. And again, with Ogbuehi, he was the number 1 pick, so they've really got to step it up.
Handoff goes to Mark Walton, the rookie out of Miami. On 1st and 20, gets maybe 3. Met by Tyrell Adams in the hole.
You know, again, we talk about their development, having to step up and play better. You know, Frank Pollock's come in with some different technique. So now, you know, they've been the same technique for 3 years. Now they're starting with new stuff. So it's how well they can adapt, how quickly they can adapt to the new stuff and produce with it.
Spoke with Cedric Ogbuehi back in OTAs, and he said Frank Pollock more aggressive, and that may be more well suited to him. Driscoll floating this too far for Kermit Whitfield. To have a different offensive line coach come in, and of course a guy with the pedigree Dallas Cowboys have had of late, it certainly changes things for this Cincinnati Bengals offense, but they also brought in key pieces, and in a lot of ways this is not the offensive line of a year ago.
You're right. I mean, they lose you know, a couple players that left, and now they're trying to fit guys in. Then you get a new offensive line coach with the new scheme, new technique. It takes a little bit to get used to it.
3rd and 17, and Driscoll sends it behind Walton, incomplete. And the penalty helping to stall Cincinnati.
See right here, you see Walton kind of leaking out. Walton goes to the outside, and the ball's thrown inside. Not real happy about what just happened there, Jeff Driscoll.
Huber. Pascal calling for fair catch at the 15. He's a little frustrated with himself because he had a little room out in front of himself. Well, Indianapolis will have the football as they try and get another long offensive drive going. It's 7 apiece midway through the second quarter. Cops are cracking down on drunk driving like never before. If you drive drunk, you will get caught and you will be arrested. Drive sober, get pulled over, funded by the Ohio Traffic Safety Office. New quarterback in for Indianapolis. We'll get our first look at Philip Walker, undrafted free agent out of Temple in his second year. The ball's loose and picked up by Cincinnati. Can they take this to the house? Oliver lost it. And Carl Lawson, pardon, Hardy Nickerson has come up with it. And the second turnover forced.
And we talked about turnovers early in the opening there, right here. Coach laid on the ground, and Hardy Nickerson Jr. picks it up. Had a little bit of room out there, but lays it on the ground. Mark Glowinski was out there, number 64, pulling around. The ball was on the ground. First goal for the Bengals.
Well, that's a bit of a gift. Cincinnati will try and punish Indianapolis. Jordan Franks in motion. Driscoll under center. Hands off. Walton dancing his way into the pile inside the 2. And Ethan Carter coming off a bit banged up.
His left arm is just dangling. Carter coming out, as you see right there. Nice job stuffing that one. Mark Walton trying to get a touchdown. I say they just try to pound it again. Give that offensive line a chance just to come off.
3 receivers split wide to the left. Walton now on the right hip of Driscoll. And Walton will run it up the middle. Pushing still into the end zone for a touchdown. 2 plays, 4 yards, and Walton has Cincinnati back in front.
Good move there by the offensive coordinator, Bill Lazor, just letting them run the football once again, letting the offensive lineman come out. Right there you see Lundblade, number 61, in there playing. Continues to fight and push. Christian Westerman, the big, strong right guard.
Previous play is going to be reviewed.
And they'll review this. Mark Walton
the goal line.
will have to wait. Ends up being 3-yard drive. So we'll figure out if the touchdown stands or not. Walton 6 carries for 16 yards. And for now, his first professional touchdown. As it stands, 13-7 Bengals. Well, it is 13-7 Cincinnati over Indianapolis. After further review, the play on the field stood. And Jonathan Brown has come on for the point after Mark Walton's first touchdown in the NFL. And a flag is down.
False start. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
That's Brad Lundblade. Well, why not make it a little more difficult for Jonathan Brown?
I'll tell you what, he's got some velocity on that leg swing.
That 55-yard field goal that we saw in Dallas picked up a couple eyeballs, huh?
He probably could have hit it from close to 65 with the distance he had on that one.
The soccer player turned kicker out of the University of Louisville. Try this one from 5 yards further out. And missed it. But Cincinnati does have a touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns so far in the contest. And for Mark Walton, this one especially sweet for the Hurricane. It's 13-7 Cincinnati. Hey ladies, show your Bengals spirit by joining the Who Dey Ladies, presented by Kleenex, Kotex, and Cottonelle. Members receive exclusive club gear, access to special club events, and much more. For more information and to sign up, visit WhoDayLadies.com. 13-7 Cincinnati lead over the Indianapolis Colts. Both teams failing to qualify for the playoffs last year, and they have the interesting scheduling quirk of finishing their preseason and starting their regular season against one another, as Jonathan Brown drives this toward the back of the end zone, and this will be carried out. And now to about the 24, Nyheim Hines, the running back, with a flag down.
Brandon Bell, number 51, making the tackle on that play, as you called it, penalty.
John Perry, give us the call.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 49, 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
That's Matthew Adams, the reserve linebacker, as Philip Walker has come on. A guy who, at 23 years old, comes out of Elizabeth, New Jersey, 5'11" generously. Elizabeth High School, went to Temple, their winningest quarterback. If you remember a couple years ago, they hosted College Game Day. He was the quarterback of that team that led the Owls to unprecedented success. Walker fires and hits Pascal.
Are you saying they're embellishing his height?
I'm saying it's about right.
Oh, okay. Just kind of thought maybe 5'9.5", 5'10", and they're stretching to 5'11".
Well, and it's interesting because, yeah, he's undersized, but it was really the 12th hour that Brian Schottenheimer went and took a look at him, and they really came away impressed on the Wednesday night before draft day and made him a priority after he went undrafted.
He looks smooth on that throw, that's for sure.
On play action, looking deep on a comeback route. That's complete to the sideline. Hit made by C.J. Goodwin. And Walker off to a good start. Pascal.
Take a look at Walker going back there, a little token play action fake. He hits a spot and throws it out there right on the money. 2 throws in a row that he's gotten it right there. Zach Pascal didn't have to do a whole lot, just kind of extend his arms, and the ball is right there at his chest.
And a little jet motion sweep. Brandon Oliver. Done by Malik Jefferson. Set up 2nd down and about 11.
Jefferson, the rookie out of Texas, doing a nice job fighting through the block of Jeremy. Let's go get that one.
Vunovich. We were talking with Dave Lapham. He goes, like a nice view, like a scenic view. Yeah. This poor guy. Starter at left guard in 2017. Played D3 college football out of Louisiana College. Come into the league and made a nice name for himself, even if it's tough to pronounce. This is complete to Reese Fountain at midfield. So it'll be 3rd down and 1. Phillips in on the stop.
Walker again making a nice throw to Fountain. Completion. Walker's come in and really looked very impressive. See nice protection by the Colts offensive line. Gets back there, sets, and nice follow through.
Made his collegiate debut against the football powerhouse that is the Fordham Rams.
Who went
at Lincoln Financial Field? There was a great young commentator calling that
That's
game.
what I thought. And
Yeah.
I think I've had a chance to work with them for the 3rd week here.
This is incomplete through the hands of Jontavius Jones.
Is his name Mike Watts? What it might Mike Watts, right?
Yeah,
From Fordham.
that's the guy.
That's right.
That's the guy. Well, and the plan was to really to redshirt him. And you're losing to an FCS school in Fordham, who were in the process of having the best season in their program's history, going back to the blocks of granite. As this is a quick play on 4th and short. And the initial spot looks short of the 1st down marker. Tupou got in.
Well, that's going to be a close one, but I think they stopped them by looking across the field. They're just past the 50, and it looks like they have to almost get to the 49. They're not. I think it'll be about maybe less than a half a yard short. It looks like.
Yeah, Brandon Oliver was in there. Well, this looks like another highlight for Malik Jefferson. Not in there to make the stop. Stretch that thing out, and yes, short. And a turnover on downs. Malik Jefferson has been absolutely all over the place late in these preseason games.
Well, he's got some tremendous speed. I mean, Scouting reports that he's an excellent blitzer, can run, good instincts. So he's shown us here.
Well, that was one scouting report. One from the NFL Draft Committee said stay in school. He threw it away. Thank goodness he did. 13-7 Cincinnati. They've got the ball back. A couple of fumbles from Indianapolis, and they fall short on 4th down and 1. Cincinnati has the football back. And Anthony, after a start for this defense where they bent but really didn't break, gave up 7 points, but able to hold the Colts a couple of times, that was a much better drive.
That was, especially on the 4th and short, and they hold them and get the ball at midfield. So good job by the defense.
Driscoll handoff. And around the 49, Rakeem Nunez-Roches is there. Ball carrier was Brian Hill.
Got a couple new tackles in there. Number 72, Justin Murray, from right here in the Cincinnati area. Sycamore High School and the University of Cincinnati. And Kent Perkins, number 76.
Well, he's from Dallas. Driscoll under pressure. This screen executed perfectly. Walton swallowed up from behind, and a late flag comes flying in. Nunez-Roches in there again.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 60. 10-yard penalty, replay. 2nd down.
The backup center, TJ Johnson, out of South Carolina. He's out there, he's pulling, and right there you see, takes both hands and just lays them right in the back. Tyrell Adams, the linebacker, gets called for it.
We'll make it 2nd and 14 from the 46 of the Bengals, and Kermit Whitfield on down by Lashard Durr. Gets to the opposite 46, 8-yard pickup. Kermit Whitfield sort of on the edge of this roster right now.
Nice protection by the Bengals offensive line. Driscoll hit Whitfield right there. Nice catch on that slant there. Getting the hands high. Keeping the ball away from the body until he secures it.
Sets up a manageable 3rd and 5. Driscoll looked to throw. There's some contact there. And no flag. Tyrell Adams on the coverage. Driscoll got dumped in the process. 4th down. And an injured player down for the Colts as well.
Take a look. Here's Mark Walton. Whoa. I'd have to say that was some contact there that the Colts got away with. Adams, number 45. See number 58, Terrell Basham there on the ground.
And really, at the end of the day, 4th preseason game, top of the bottom of the roster, you don't want to see injuries.
You really don't. I mean, you know, especially if you get through pretty unscathed for most of the 3 games, all of a sudden you're this final game, and there's no question the guys are playing hard. They're out there and they're wanting to give a good showing, and injury. I know injuries are part of it, but you hate to still see the injuries.
Basham out of Ohio University, the MAC Defensive Player of the Year, their all-time record holder in sacks, 29.5. As this offensive line getting a lesson on the mentor, Coach Pollock.
We actually played with the 49ers under a pretty good offensive line coach there, McKittrick, who coached for quite a few years with the 49ers. And Frank Pollock was there, did a good job there and doing an excellent job as an offensive line coach. Of course, he comes over after spending some time with the Cowboys. Very intense and a very good teacher. I talked to Jake Fisher, I think, a day after their first meeting, and he actually said, I think you're going to like this guy. You're going to like what he teaches. And watching him out at camp and OTAs, yep, he was right.
Huber will punt. Fair catch called for. This will bounce inside the 5 and go into the end zone with Shrek trying to down that. Franks got the touch to it. So the Colts offense makes their way back onto the field. These two teams 31 and 32 in offense last year. And for Indianapolis, obviously all eyes on Andrew Luck, who, well, is set to return. He's dealing with a bit of a lower body injury, which shouldn't have anything to do with the shoulder injury that kept him out last year. But you lose one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League, and your offense is going to suffer. No one's surprised by that.
Yeah, you're right there. I mean, what a talented individual. Had a chance to watch him when he was playing at Stanford, and of course, just right down the street here with the Colts. You know, this franchise wants him back 100% because he is one of the top quarterbacks in the league when healthy.
Fired out to Fountain. It's out of bounds. Think about Andrew Luck as Walker, the third-team quarterback, is in. Said he almost forgot how fast guys were in this league. He hasn't played all 16 games since 2014. It's a foot injury now, but he was 20 of 32 and over 200 yards and a touchdown. Managed the team well with this new quarterback-friendly offense that got the seal of approval of both Luck and Peyton Manning under Frank Reich. Nick Sirianni, as Jordan Willis is in on the stop here.
You know, it's interesting. You mentioned what Luck said about the speed of the game and being out all season. Of course, someone that has played the game, I'm constantly asked, so what is the difference as you look at Andrew Luck there with the headset? What is the difference when you leave college to the pros? And that's the first thing I said, is the speed of the guys. It's just a different level.
The crowd getting into it here on 3rd down and 3. And tossed up by Walker, incomplete. Zach Pascal, it's been a deep threat. Covered by Russell, and it's 4th down.
Kavari Russell has had a lot of action this first half. For the most part, done a pretty good job right here on coverage. Ball just a little bit overthrown, but he was right there. I'm impressed by Walker. I'll tell you what, he throws the ball well. He seems to have a lot of poise back there.
Indianapolis has turned it over twice, fumbles, and once on downs. And the first punt has Phillips back at the 25. He'll return with a flag down back near where the punt came from. As Rigo Sanchez got that away, and now decision time for the referee.
During the kick, holding, receiving team, number 61, 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
Brad Lundblade. Well, Cincinnati football, Mike Valpredo has an injury update down on the sideline. Mike.
Yeah, Mike, unfortunately, Cincinnati Carter, 82, second-year player, halfback, tight end, will not return. 82 out for the game for the Bengals.
Thanks, Mike. And we were asking about how Ryan Hewitt and Cincinnati Carter sort of fit into this thing. And Hewitt didn't play a lot of snaps the last 2 games, and Carter has played well in this preseason. And again, you just hope decisions aren't made because of injuries. You want to see it on the field.
That's right. You want guys at full speed and giving it their all, and then decisions made after that. So you're right.
It's an I formation for Driscoll, and immediately into the backfield. Dominant stuff from Hassan Ridgeway, who has 4 sacks this preseason, and mows down Cincinnati runner Stray Carson.
Wow, Ridgeway with some speed there. All 305 pounds of him in the backfield.
This is
just blew past T.J. Johnson there.
And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning and a chance for Trey Carson to rearrange himself a little bit. 5-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 15 deep in Cincinnati territory, but the Bengals have a lead on the ball with 2 minutes to go in the second. Marvin Lewis and the Cincinnati Bengals 13-7 lead with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter with Anthony Munoz, Mike Valpredo on the sideline. Our terrific team at Paul Brown Stadium. Mike Watts, Cincinnati trying to finish what would be a 4-0 perfect preseason. Second perfect preseason, third undefeated preseason in franchise history. It's 2nd down and 15, and Driscoll fires out to Mason Schreck. That's hit by George Odom, the impressive player out of Central Arkansas of the FCS.
Take a look from behind right here. You see the pass blocking. Driscoll having enough time to step up and hit Schreck there on the out.
Odom's college coach at Central Arkansas said he's a renaissance man. He raises puppies and can fix your carburetor too. 3rd down and 11. And this fired up the sideline. It's caught. Been a long time since he's made a catch. Durr on the coverage, and it's Auden Tate.
Excellent throw by Driscoll on that one. Just landed in there to the big wide receiver. He pump fakes to the left and then throws to the right behind the safety. I'm sorry, right behind the corner in front of the safety. Well designed, nice throw there by Jeff Driscoll.
26-yard gain. That's his first catch since the 33-yard touchdown in the opener against the Bears. Game-winning touchdown. That's only his second catch of the preseason. Driscoll looking and throws to the near side. Devontae Boyd. Boyd gets muscled to the ground with a hit from Tyrell Adams. And there's a flag down.
Might have, excuse me, might have one of these helmet hits. I'm not sure because it looked pretty late there.
You know, there was talk at the start of preseason, so many flags, and it did settle down a bit. Really, in the games we've had, haven't seen all that many of them.
For use of the helmet.
We'll take a look here after Driscoll avoids a little pressure there in his face. See Boyd right there. Wow. That was really quick. It was hard for me to see. I guess they picked it up.
So you're seeing it from the best angle we have, and the referees, of course, have to make that snap decision. 10 flags now in the game. Driscoll completes and upended after first down yardage was picked up by Mason Schreck.
That's why when I'm asked about the rule and stuff, I say, well, no, thank you. I'm glad they have to make the call because I would not want to be out there making the call. It's got to be very difficult.
No huddle offense here. 3 timeouts for Cincinnati to work with. And Driscoll hit as he throws, but completes. And the running back shifty, Trey Carson, out to the 40. Then with 1:03 to go in the second quarter, and Tolliver bringing him down. Cincinnati.
Timeout Cincinnati, their first.
Use their first timeout.
30-second timeout.
And Carson a little banged up on his way out.
Driscoll doing a nice job. You see right there McCain getting around, I think it's Perkins, to put a little bit of a hit on Driscoll, but doing a nice job getting that ball, making a pass and completing it. Right there you see the big number 75, Chris McCain. I'm sorry, Ryan Dillard. Number 75 for the Colts.
Unbelievably, Delaire was out of football last year with a knee injury, only signed 2 weeks ago, and he's been tremendous.
Looks like he's got his speed back on that one. He had some nice speed getting around the tackle.
Driscoll will face 2nd down and 1. Good numbers on the day coming in relief of the injured Matt Barkley. And he hits Schreck, the tight end, who fails to get out of bounds. 55 seconds to go on a running clock. Richard Durr brings him down. The Bengals have to move fast.
Driscoll looks comfortable every time he's put in this situation. I mean, he looks very comfortable and poised and does an excellent job.
Driscoll shaking his shoulders, throws and completes near side. Boyd again doesn't get out of bounds, and with 34 ticks to go in the second quarter, Cincinnati has to use their second timeout. Well, you think about Driscoll last year, and he has the highs of how well he played against Tampa Bay, and then the lows of breaking his hand in a bit of a freak incident against the Colts.
You're right, and Boyd should have just turned left right away, not even looked inside with the time running out here in the first half. But you're right, it had to be very frustrating. I mean, anytime you're in a battle, and we had that tonight with Matt Barkley. You're in a battle, you're trying to win a backup position, you get hurt. The same thing with Driscoll last year. I mean, the guy was doing phenomenal. Not only throwing the football, running the offense, and extending plays with his legs, and then he breaks his hand.
Driscoll finished his college career at Louisiana Tech, but he started at Florida and beat out Jacoby Brissett for the starting job there. Brissett starting the night for the Colts. Driscoll dropping to throw, steps up in the pocket, hits Carson, and Carson has learned a lesson that the other receivers hadn't and gets out of bounds.
Well, not only getting out of bounds, but made a nice catch on that one. I mean, he had to extend. You see number 33 coming out of the backfield. Jeff Driscoll making the throw, and Carson extending, getting it, and then getting right out, stopping the clock.
So one timeout left for Cincinnati. If they happen to finish in bounds, Auden Tate has come in the bottom of your screen. Big option out of Florida State. Driscoll stepping up. This is deflected. Carson still has it. And at the 21, he has first down yardage with the clock ticking. They may try and spike this. They may try and get a playoff. And he will clock it with 12 ticks. So maybe time for a play here. Even if it's in bounds, you got a timeout, and then you can maybe set up Brown if you don't get to Pater.
Give Brown another chance after pulling that extra point. Give him a chance to get a field goal here right at the end of half.
A little redemption, perhaps.
Exactly, and right there you see Shrek, who's made a couple catches here.
Shrek having a nice day for himself out of Medina, Northeast Ohio. Went to Buffalo. Bill Lazor looking on. His first year calling the plays with his own terminology. Second down. Driscoll looks, throws for the end zone. Incomplete. Kermit Whitfield, the intended receiver. And they only use 5 seconds. And now a decision to make.
Driscoll again trying to get right behind the cornerback. In between the corner and the safety. That one just overthrown a little bit, but Kermit Whitfield was right there.
The linebackers are a full 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage here as Driscoll drops to throw and fires this one up.
Got him, Josh
Malone.
Malone.
Back in the end zone. Malone is in for the touchdown. Got both feet in. With 2 seconds to go in the second quarter. 20-yard touchdown throw from Driscoll. And Cincinnati leads 19-7. Durr and Parisi caught in no man's land.
Good protection by that Bengals offensive line, and right there you see it. Once again, the safety cannot get back there to cover for the cornerback. Result, touchdown Bengals. Driscoll to Malone.
My eyes are on that back foot, by the way.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah, I think they're going to look at this.
Previous play will be reviewed.
Well, Josh Malone will have to sit and wait, contemplate. 5 catches for 55 yards after a bit of a hamstring hampered him early in preseason.
Left one's in, right one. Whoa. Oh, that looked pretty close.
This is where you're looking for the one blade of orange grass. If you're a Bengals fan, you're probably happy right now that this was called a touchdown on the field.
I'm gonna say it stands. I'm gonna say it stands.
Yeah, I don't think you confirm this. There's Frank Reich, first-year head coach for Indianapolis, taking over from Chuck Pagano, who had 3 really good years and 3 strugglesome years.
After reviewing the play, the rule in the field stands as called.
My man, Anthony Munoz coming up with it here.
Right there. Nice concentration. You got the left foot, the right foot. I just think it has enough in there that doesn't look like he's out. I mean, watch this.
He doesn't look out, but I'm not sure he looks in.
It's 6.
That's right. Well, will it be a 7th? Brown, 1 for 2 on the points after, and knocks this through with ease. So 2 seconds remain in the second quarter. 20-yard pass from Driscoll to Malone, the key play of the drive. 13 plays, 85 yards, over 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Anthony, we were looking up at the scoreboard going, not a lot of yards in this first half for Cincinnati, but that drive sort of getting things going offensively, and for Driscoll, that's an important confidence-boosting drive, and a lot of receivers played a pretty big role.
It really was. That was one of the things you handed me, and I looked up at the board and I said, wow, you know, not a whole lot of time left in this first half, and they haven't accumulated a lot of yards. And on this drive here, they just they doubled it.
Well,
so, yeah.
You know, great minds think alike. We've got a statistician here to my left who's handing me the card. You're looking at the scoreboard.
You can kind of get a feel for what's going on. That, you know, it's just like, okay, things aren't going the way we would like them to be going, the way they should go, and running the football. Then you look up and it's like 76 yards, almost in a full half, and then
you have officially quantified the problem. Well, this is a little squib kick. And bounces in on the run. It's the running back, Hines. And he's gobbled up at the 31. When we come back, we'll talk Bengals in the community. Bengals at Paul Brown Stadium looking pretty good of late. 20-7 lead over Indianapolis in the 4th week of the preseason. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Ohio Department of Public Safety. Drive sober or get pulled over. And by Gold Star Chili, the official chili of the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome back. Halftime in preseason game number 4. Cincinnati and Indianapolis will play here and then shift about 100 miles away to Lucas Oil for the opener of the regular season. Players getting back to the field. Josh Malone, a pretty big highlight. Let's show you the best from the first half. And Cincinnati on the board first. Trey Carson from yard out.
getting that little bit of push there, giving Trey Carson a chance. Jacoby Brissett to Zach Pascal for a touchdown for the Colts. Then Mark Walton takes one in, takes it left and goes right back up the middle, gets it in, and then of course the nice pass from Jeff Driscoll to Josh Malone. Just lays it in there perfectly.
And after further review, he did get both feet in bounds, and it made it 20-7 as we head toward the second half of play. Got to look at our first half Kroger stats. And, well, we talked about total yards being a problem, but in these Kroger halftime stats, it's turned quite quickly for Cincinnati.
It really did. Not only the total yards, but the third down conversions. Of course, they went 5 of 8, which is pretty nice. Of course, the Colts 6 of 8. And then the turnovers. The Bengals got 2 turnovers in the first half. That's huge. As we talked about it, that was the emphasis of Coach Austin, the defensive coordinator, and they come away with 2 in the first half.
Well, you think about guys that are fighting for positions in this game. You talk about the running backs, so Carson and Walton. You talk quarterbacks, and obviously the injury to Matt Barkley has changed things. He will be out the rest of the way, and I think Driscoll probably is close to being done as well. Logan Woodside will probably get some time in this second half, but some guys have been able to separate themselves a little bit, and whether that's a practice squad spot or an all-important 53-man spot remains to be seen.
You're right, and there's a lot of battles, and you hate to, you know, we showed all the good, all the highlights of the half, but, you know, you hate to start early in the game with an injury to Matt Barkley, and then, you know, to really know that he was in a battle for that second spot, that second quarterback spot, and to end the way it did this evening. It's a shame, but you got to move on, and hopefully he rehabilitates, and it's nothing serious, and gets back, and we can focus on the positive. You know, we talked about Walton and Trey Carson again. Those, you know, Carson, every camp, every preseason, the guy just runs extremely hard, and of course Driscoll the last 2 years. So there's some good. There's some good here, first line and second line players.
Brown into the football. and out the back of the end zone. So Indianapolis will start with the football. And Philip Walker will enter the equation again for Indianapolis. Well, this defense got better and better as the first half went along. All eyes on maybe a safety, maybe cornerback, linebacker. Those are the spots with the most contested openings. Walker will hand off on first down and 10. Brandon Oliver diving through the hole.
You mentioned safeties. You have Brandon Wilson, number 40 at one safety, number 41 Trayvon Henderson at the other safety, number 41, getting a look in there.
Junior Joseph, linebacker, who was in on the tackle. Second down and 6. Walker handles the snap, fires it deep. Was that a one-handed catch? Not quite for Steve Ishmael. C.J. Goodwin on the coverage, and a guy who broke some of Marvin Harrison's records at Syracuse. Really came up with a highlight reel grab.
It was a nice throw by Walker. Look at that. Oh, man, he could have very easily caught that one. Brought it in with one hand and almost came down. Goodwin, not bad coverage. Goodwin's right there. C.J.'s right there on the coverage, but the ball by Walker was thrown nicely, almost caught, but it did go incomplete.
Third down and 6 from the 29. Walker deep drop and completes this close to midfield. Mason Williams continuing, and finally Wilson able to run him out of bounds. Fine work for Williams out of Washington. First down and 10 for Indianapolis, and this is a screen pass. The running back, Brandon Oliver. Oliver's found a seam. Oliver down inside the 15-yard line.
Nice call by the Colts there. Bengals have had excellent pass rushing pressure all night long, so they just called a screen, and nice play there. Nice job by the offensive line selling it. Look at this. Watch a little speed right here. Ooh.
And they go right back to Oliver on the ensuing play. Pickup of 5 down to the 8. It was a 33-yard pitch and catch. And of course the run. So the Colts trying to nibble on this 13-point Cincinnati lead. And Philip Walker motioning Oliver to his right. And he fires it sidearm. Oliver dips out and then brought down by Jordan Willis.
First guy you see in there's number 47, Chris Worley, the rookie. See right here, number 47. He misses it, but he allows him to stop it. And Jordan Willis, he's been active tonight. Jordan Willis playing an excellent football game, still in there. Played just about the entire first half, playing a lot here in the third quarter. Him and Sam Hubbard, the other defensive end, doing a phenomenal job tonight.
Willis, part of a defense 4th in the NFL preseason in sacks, 12. He's got 2.5. Walker, 3rd and 4. Walker escapes, runs it up the middle, and he's short of the goal line. And he's right near the first down marker.
Mike, he really hasn't shown that explosive ability to run, but right here he goes back and he looks and he looks. He says, the heck with this. That's some speed there. Does a nice job running it up the middle. He has stayed back there pretty much the entire time and just thrown the football.
This is Brandon Oliver diving for the goal line, and he's in for the Indianapolis touchdown.
It's right here, nice opening in the middle of that defense. Number 40, Brandon Wilson tries to make the tackle. It's a little too late. Nice push by the Colts offensive line.
Well, that's a good response. 8 plays, 75 yards. The holder is Sanchez. Badgley, who's kicked tonight. Adam Vinatieri, who's nearing, well, if he doesn't have it, every kicking record in the book this season. And Badgley puts it through. So it's a 6-point game. When we come back, we'll tell you a little bit about the upcoming Bengals season and tickets you don't want to miss. 2014 lead for Cincinnati. Gold Star Chili, the official chili of the Cincinnati Bengals. The flavor of Cincinnati since 1965. Indianapolis set to kick off after making it a 6-point game. A thorough 8-play, 75-yard drive. And Badgley set to kick off for the Colts. And this will run short to about the 3.5. And Darius Phillips wrapped up at the 20. Dwayne Herring joins us, the director of ticket sales and service for the Cincinnati Bengals. And by the way, the commercial that you guys put out, the Seize the Day commercial, is outstanding. I almost just want to know who came up with the idea.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, we love the idea. We had some help here. Obviously, got a great team here in the front office to put that together. We've heard some great receptivity to the spot. We just love Seize the Day.
Yeah, well, let's talk about a couple Thursdays down the road. Home opener here at Paul Brown Stadium. Everyone's pretty excited. What's going on there?
Yeah, in 2 weeks, obviously, we have our regular season home opener against the Baltimore Ravens division rival. It's the first game of the Thursday night package for the NFL this season. So that's Thursday night, September 13th, 8:20 p.m. Division rival, obviously huge game for us to open the season.
I'm willing to bet that that's going to get a great rating in Buffalo, by the way, if there's any question about that. What can fans expect out of that game? I know Anthony Munoz has a pretty big role.
Yeah, well, it's hard to believe it's been 30 years since that '88 Super Bowl team. So we'll be having a lot of fun with that. During halftime, we have a celebration planned. Obviously, our good friend Anthony's going to be there for that. We'll bring back Coach Weish for that. Guys like Tim Crumry will be there for that as well. Fans are not going to want to miss that.
Malone, excellent grab at the 45. Malone, who was really quiet until the final minutes of the opening, really the final seconds of the opening half here again.
You know, they talk about the back shoulder throw, and right here, Logan Woodside, I mean, does a nice job, nice tight spot. Look at that. There's no way the defender can get that one because Josh Malone knows where it's being thrown to, and he turns back. Nice throw, nice catch.
Sweet play.
Dwayne, you were going to share some hats with us, but they're still under lock and key. That's some giveaway, right?
That's right, yeah. So we'll have 10,000 Bengals hats that'll be given away at the gates to the first 10,000 fans, courtesy of Fifth Third Bank. So fans are going to want to get here early for that and make sure they get their tickets to get that sweet hat.
What time do I have to get here?
The gates are going to open up at 7 o'clock, Anthony.
Okay.
Here's that upcoming schedule. Well, October is when things really get started here, but that one game, September 13th, miss them because they're going to be gone for a while.
That's right. Yeah. So, you know, in addition to the great schedule we've got here, obviously a couple of new things happening this season. A new initiative league-wide for us is mobile ticketing. So, obviously, fans who have a valid printed ticket can still enter the game, but we've got some new technology this year at all stadiums. But here,
Walton gets blown out of bounds, and a late flag joins the party too.
So fans who want to enter the game with their phones can do so. It's super convenient. You can just access your barcode right there. Whether you want to transfer your ticket to a friend or just pull up your tickets, you can also resell your tickets there. But also new here is we're going to be revamping our Jungle Zone out there on the plaza on the east side of the stadium. So fans know that during the season you can access the Jungle Zone. It's a free pregame party area where we have
There's 2 fouls
music.
in the play. Illegal formation. Offense. Only 6 players on the line of scrimmage. Personal foul. Defense number 40. Lowering the head to initiate contact. By rule, the 15-yard penalty will be enforced. 1st and 10, Cincinnati.
Let's take a look at that late hit. Second time we've seen it, Anthony.
Walton showing some excellent speed getting around the corner, but the formation kind of ruined it at the beginning. Oh, man. Right there, Therizi, number 40, gets the penalty. Robinson They're going to be calling that.
Yeah. By the way, Dwayne, I was talking to you and Brian Sells with the team earlier today, and you guys are talking up these food carts that are going to be out there, and I'm kind of offended that I don't get to be around them until September, but I guess you guys have some pretty good ideas there.
Do you need an invite?
No. No.
So you're welcome. Anyway, yeah, so the revamped Jungle Zone is going to be out there with that live music. Yes, absolutely. Local food trucks, which is a new addition this year. Family-friendly activities like face painting out there. So be sure to be part of that. Obviously, it's popping out there pregame, so fans can come out there 3 hours before kickoff. It's a good time.
Woodside hits Shrek, and the Toledo Rocket is near the
Personal
first
foul,
down there.
roughing the passer.
My kind of
Defense,
guy.
number
Talk about
76,
food.
15-yard penalty, first down.
Right here, Woodside getting rid of it just as he takes the hit. Shows some poise, just didn't know he's going to get level right when he throws it. Right here, he sees him right in his face. Wow.
Did you say there's face painting?
That's right.
Yeah. All right.
Well, Anthony, before you guys kicked me out of here, Mike and I were talking earlier. We wanted to know if in 2 weeks' time, can we get that sweet mustache to come back?
Let's put it this way. We won't have to have any face painting with that mustache. It'll be nice and white.
Yes.
So
Dee Dee a fan of the mustache? I have to ask.
She's a fan of the mustache, but if I grow the mustache, I go with the goatee now, but she's not a fan of the goatee, so I don't go with the mustache.
Just think about it.
I'll think about it.
Woodside hands off, and this is down to the 15-yard line. Really appreciate the time, Dwayne.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, sir. Good seeing you.
You as well.
So Whitfield there. And Anthony, you've got some fans here that all know what happened 30 years ago, and others that are hoping that the next one is coming close. Another chance to get to a Super Bowl and build another team that's worthy of a big old anniversary celebration.
You're right, Mike, and having experienced that twice as a member of the Bengals football team, Super Bowl 16 and 23, you want that to happen. You want that to happen for the guys that are playing, but also for this great city, great sports fans. You want that. I mean, it's just amazing how the city is so electric when you get to the playoffs, and you get to, hopefully they get to host the AFC Championship game right here in Paul Brown Stadium and then go to a Super Bowl. So yeah, one of the things I had a chance, and you were there when I talked to the linemen in camp, one of the first things I said is you have a lot of fans here from us that played with the team before, and we're all rooting for this team to do well and get into the playoffs and get to the Super Bowl.
I think a lot of people want to see Auden Tate continue to make catches like this in tough territory.
Right, big guy, 6'5", and right here he goes, takes a nice hit afterward, but hangs on to it. Big rookie.
Logan Woodside is leading a nice drive here in the third quarter. First down and 8, first and goal. And the handoff of the stutter step to the outside. And Walton brought down by Chris Cooper.
I can see that enthusiasm from a rookie like Walton. He got nailed and he gets up and he goes, man, I wish I could have got some more. Wish he would have got more.
Walton, just an incredible story of perseverance. Fourth round pick out of Miami. It's injuries and just one tragedy after another. Play fake to Walton, throws it, and this to Moritz Boehringer. The German is short of the end zone here.
That's awesome. Little play action fake run to the left, and it comes out. Woodside do a nice job dumping off right with Boehringer. Makes a catch and gets tackled right away, but it's good to see him getting some snaps in here.
Now, as part of the international player pathway, he doesn't count as a practice squad position, so he could be an 11th for Cincinnati if they choose to keep him. Former draft pick of the Minnesota Vikings. Woodside, back to throw, steps up, fires, and batted right back at the goal line. Well, misfired, and Tyrell Adams swatting that thing directly back.
Tyrell Adams was already taking a step towards the other side as he knocked it down. Good pass protection right there by the Bengals. And Adams, man, I think he wanted to run before he actually caught it. All he saw was some green, a lot of green in front of him.
the pride of West Georgia, a native of Atlanta. Brown on for the field goal try. It'll be 21 yards off the right hash. Huber puts it down, and Brown nails it through. So Cincinnati extends their lead. They made it 23-14, and we still have another quarter and a half to play in Cincinnati. Shop Nike at the Bengals Pro Shop, offering the best selection of Bengals men's and women's Nike products around. Visit the Pro Shop 7 days a week, located on the north side of Paul Brown Stadium. Shop online, Bengals.com.
I have to make my preseason visit. I usually go in there and check out all the new stuff. And, but I hate to go in there because I'm a hat guy and I have too many hats. But I know I'm going to see a new hat, grab a polo. I just do it every year. It's a great place.
Dwayne was just here with 10,000 free hats. You don't get away with one. Pascal racked up at the 21. We'll try and figure out where some additional hats are. Let's go down to Mike Valpredo with Tyler Boyd.
All right, I'll ask Tyler about his hat when we wrap things up. But there's the other guy that got all the love in Buffalo last week. The other half of that connection, beating Baltimore, third-year receiver Tyler Boyd. Welcome, and first of all, talk about how you're doing and how things go for you getting into this season.
Everything for me, been going perfectly fine. I'm coming in, working my tail off, every day trying to be better, and everything is showing. I'm putting everything that I need to show on the field, so everything is going perfect for me and just the team as one.
And like it or not, Tyler, you are now one of the veterans of this receiving corps.
Yeah, man, it just feels very special, just like this year, but I take each and every year, as is. I got to play for something, I got to maintain something, so just to be in that spotlight and that position, I just want to encourage all the guys around me like that, to be at the top of their game.
You and I were talking in the break about this team and why it's different, and you said something that I've kind of noticed, and that is there's something special going on here right now. Talk a little bit about that.
Definitely, man. Like I mentioned, man, we got tons of veterans across the board in every position, and then with all the younger guys coming in and trying to step up and make their presence felt, I think like that mixture is the perfect formula for us this year.
You made that huge catch to beat Baltimore last year. You guys start off against Indy. You spend a lot of time with Andy and AJ. What are you guys saying to each other?
This is our year, man. Definitely, man. Like, everything is there, not just with AJ or just me or John or anything. The whole offense as a one is just unstoppable to me. We got Eifert, we got Joe Mixon's like crazy. So I think everything going smoothly, and then I just believe we won't be able to be stopped.
Try to get through these next 10 days. I know you guys you're ready to roll. You're ready to get on the bus and head over to Indianapolis, but get through these next 10 days and get over to Indy and get a win.
Definitely, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully everybody come off of this game healthy so we can get a fresh start on these guys, man, for next week.
All right, I got to check out the hat really quick, so flip that thing around. Anthony's auditioning there. Anthony, can get you one of those. I'm not sure if that's part of the 10,000, but.
Well, hey, Mike, you can tell them that I have one. I went to camp. My goal when I go to camp is not to wear a Bengals hat, and I usually get one, so I got one of those. So.
All right, I'll keep working on it for you, buddy.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
I'm walking by some of the front office, and it's my first day at camp, and someone goes, "Here's a hat." And I'm looking around like, wow, this place is great. Walker throws near side. This popped up and incomplete with Shontavious Jones the target. Darius Phillips on the coverage.
See right here, Darius Phillips on the coverage. Nice coverage. Gets the hand in there.
And when you talk about 53 men, by the way, Darius Phillips, a guy, his special teams ability, yes, you have Alex Erickson too, but it does separate a guy like him.
It really does. I mean, with the speed he has, that's what makes it kind of intriguing is you start saying, okay, who's going to be here, who's going to be there. And like I said earlier, I'm glad I don't have to make those decisions.
Walker stumbles, fires deep, and this is tipped and incomplete. Trayvon Henderson there. Kobe Hamilton, a former 6th-round pick of the Bengals out of Texarkana, Texas, was the intended receiver.
Take a look here. Malik Jackson, or Jefferson, number 45, actually just about picks it off right there. Nice play. Gets those big mitts up, gets up high. What he's shown some range, shown some speed. Another one of those linebackers, young linebackers.
Rigo Sanchez knocks it down toward Phillips, who will catch that at the 15. Well, the roster is constricting in real time. It's got to be at 53 by Saturday afternoon, and well, these last 20 minutes are going to mean a bunch. Fans, make sure to check out the Medical Mutual fan poll, bottom of Bengals.com right now. Cast your vote for this week's fan poll question. Anthony, who deserved the game ball from Sunday's win in Buffalo? Dalton, Billings, Ross, Lawson, or Green? How'd the fans go? There's a hint. There's a hint. No.
I'd have to say 14.
He finally looked. All right. Andy Dalton and this offense, really the game 1 and game 3 of the preseason look top notch.
I agree.
You listen to Tyler Boyd, he's so excited. Woodside will hand off, and the sprint around the edge from Hill. Goes bull rushing into the sideline. That's good for a first down.
You know, it's good to hear Tyler Boyd talk about the positive environment, the good feeling they have. And I mean, when I first went down to camp, I could feel that there was just a different air about things, the way they were working and stuff. So hopefully that translates September 9th, and they open up in Indy. Hopefully they come home with the win and start off a great season.
Motion here, Woodside sending a man off tight right. And the handoff with a bit of a cutback. Hill. Impressive. Mike Valpredo's down on the sideline. He's got one of the shutdown corners in the league, William Jackson, with him.
That's right. It's the third-year stars, William Jackson on the defensive side, the first-round draft pick. And we were just talking to Tyler Boyd about all the momentum with this team, what's going on here, and just how you guys are all really saying this is it, this is our year.
I definitely think it's our year. I mean, we're getting a lot of turnovers. The offense looked great as usual. So we just ready to come out here and show the world that we can play ball over here and win some games.
He was talking about the mix of young and old. You've got the veterans who have been here, and now you've got all this youth movement, yourself included. We'll throw you in there, even though it's year 3's getting old around here now.
Right. It's a great mixture just to have older guys and young guys, because the young guys give energy, and the older guys just keep us paused out there and not have us anxious and all that. So it's real fun just to be out there with everybody.
Now, speaking of some of the old guys, please tell me, you gave a little bit of the business to Gino and Carlos. They had a pretty good week, right?
Yeah. Great week.
Great week,
actually. It's good for them to lock those guys in. Shout out to Devontae Burford, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be back in about 4 weeks. But it is a great thing they got them paid, though.
They get to buy dinner, right?
Right. They selfish, you know. Nah, they going to buy dinner, but it's a good thing we lock those guys in for many years to come.
Absolutely. And a new coordinator on both sides. But just talk about real quick, this defense now with a new quarter, new leadership, and you guys getting ready to go to Indy in 10 days.
Man, we got TA up in here. We got DJ. We got some great coaches. They got a lot of energy. And he just stressed turnovers. And we've been getting a lot of those in this preseason. So it's just good to see our hard work going into effect.
Go get one in 10 days and through the season. Appreciate the time. These guys, I'll tell you what, Anthony, you called it earlier, man. They are ready to go. They want to get on the bus tonight.
That's awesome. I like that confidence. I like the excitement of getting the season started.
First down and 10 with Hill, the deep back, in an eye. And a straight drop. Woodside firing it up, and this is complete across the 40. Shrek lost the football. Did that get out of bounds?
It did.
Indianapolis never really had that. George Odom had a beautiful opportunity there for his roster hopes.
Take a look right here. Shrek catches it. Oh, nice little job there. Punching it out by George Odom.
Is a fumble forward out of bounds. The ball will be spotted at the 34-yard line. Clock will start and they're ready for play.
And that was a smart play by George Odom, but he wasn't able to control it, so the Bengals will retain possession.
But to go back a step, I could listen to William Jackson talk all day.
I love the laugh. He was great.
Into the backfield, Quentin Flowers. And continuing forward, Quentin Flowers, a quarterback in college and an amazing one at that out of USF, an undrafted free agent moving to running back.
Tell you what, between him and Brian Hill, they've been running the ball pretty well here lately. Lowers his head. Gains some yardage forward, putting Flowers right there, as you mentioned, South Florida, 5'10", 214 pounds.
How about this? 3,672 rushing yards in college.
As a quarterback.
As a quarterback.
Wow. So it makes sense to put him back as a running back.
I don't know how hard he hits the hole getting the ball off a handoff, but I know you put him in space. And whew. Flowers, a 3-year starter there, threw for 71 touchdowns, added another 41 rushing, and gives Bill Lazor an option should he make the roster. It's certainly uphill, but you wonder if he's a guy that maybe is stashed on the practice squad.
Tell you what, that physical ability, I mean, you mentioned this quarterback, now he's a running back, he's got some speed. He showed some speed there, ability to hit the hole.
"19 first downs for Cincinnati, and they'll have to wait to try and find their 20th. Timeout for Cincinnati.
Timeout Cincinnati, the team's first.
As they are driving. It'll be 3rd down and 2 from the 26 after this. 68 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Bengals ahead. For an inside look at the team, watch Bengals Weekly with Marvin Lewis. Join Dan Horn, Dave Lapham, and Marvin Lewis every Sunday throughout the regular season. It's on Local 12 in Cincinnati, Fox 45 in Dayton, and on the CW 53 in Columbus. With Mike Valpredo on the sideline, Anthony Munoz joining in the booth, Mike Watts. It's 3rd and 2 as we near the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Logan Woodside drops to throw and completes. It's the running back Brian Hill. He was hit by Adams, and it's the 20th first down of the game for Cincinnati. Murray is down on the field. Pardon, on the sideline getting worked on, former UC Bearcat.
I had a chance to talk to him in the offseason. We sat and had some lunch, and he goes, now, he calls him Mr. Munoz. Mr. Munoz, do you still have that youth camp at Sycamore High School? And I said, yeah. He goes, just want to let you know, I was in 5th grade when I went to that camp. And then he went to Sycamore High School, and of course, UC, University of Cincinnati.
Wow. This handoff goes to Quentin Flowers. He jukes off of Durr, and he's near the first down marker.
Nice little push by the left side. Obuehi over there on the left side. Westerman, they took that whole right side of the Colts defense and pushed it in. Nice movement there.
By the way, Dwayne Herring's dad teaches at Illinois. He taught Clayton Fledgland. It's a really small world, isn't it?
Wow, that is.
Well, we're headed to the 4th quarter. Final 15 minutes of our preseason with you here. 23-14 Cincinnati. Going to the 4th quarter, Cincinnati 23, Indianapolis 14. With Mike Valpredo, Anthony Munoz, Mike Watts. So glad you're spending your Thursday evening with us. 10 days away from regular season NFL football for the Cincinnati Bengals. They'll head off to Indianapolis, take on the same Colts team that'll have a little bit of a different look, one would imagine. Woodside first down and goal from the 10, aiming toward the corner. Flag flies as it looks like Franks was interfered with. Odom was on the coverage.
Pass interference, defense, number 30. Ball will be spotted at the 1-yard line, 1st and goal.
Good protection there by the Bengals offensive line. Logan Woodside going back and making a nice throw there. Up. Yeah, oh, he's on him. Right here, that angle, you can see he was on his back before the ball got there.
Flowers is the lone setback. Woodside under center. Will throw it toward the back of the end zone. Excellent grab. Tate, incomplete. Lashard Durr in coverage, and Tate couldn't tap both feet down.
Let's see, the 6'5" wide receiver, let's throw it up. Heck of a pass, one. Yep, right foot halfway in, halfway out. No question about that one. So close.
Well, Woodside will have to wait for his first NFL touchdown. Well, this crowd has a hankering for it. Second down and goal from the 1. Whitfield in motion. Flowers hitting the backfield, spins off the contact. Parisi. It's in there. Lundblade getting off the pile. He'll move 2 yards backward.
It's been interesting watching this offensive line as we try to see them here get a little motion or movement, but not a whole lot there. Some white jerseys in the backfield. They've really been shuffling guys that have been playing one position or playing another one. Right now they got Kent Perkins at right guard next to Jake Fisher. Westerman and Ogbuehi on the left side with Lundblade at center.
3rd and 3. Woodside, flag is down. Woodside swallowed up at the 8. Ryan Dallaire signed a couple weeks ago, had a sack and a forced fumble against San Francisco. But the flag is at about the 3.
Offside, defense number 75, lined up in the neutral zone, half the distance to the goal. Replay, second down.
Got some speed.
Correction, third down.
Quicker. Huh. Right there going against Cedric Ogbuehi. Ogbuehi had him on the ground and just kept going. Ryan Dallaire just kept going and going, but he was offsides.
He was a stud for Towson of the CAA in FCS. It's an I formation, 3rd and goal from the 2. Shrek in motion. And the handoff, Flowers trying to pick a hole. Won't find anything at all.
So we go 75 once again. We've been talking about him. Ryan Dallaire right there.
This is a group that changed from a 3-4 to a 4-3 for the Colts. Obviously bringing Matt Eberflus as their new defensive coordinator. And so there's some unsettled positions because this is not the same as what the Colts had schematically last year, as Brown has come on for a field goal try. The play clock down to 5. This will be about 21 yards. And slams that off the netting, and good. Cincinnati's lead expands to 12, and they're 12:58 away from a potential perfect preseason. 4th quarter action at Paul Brown Stadium. Be sure to visit the Bengals Facebook page. Follow the team on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat for the latest news and updates straight from the source. What are you looking at?
It's the first picture we had. We had a little Chucky and then the Bengals gear. It's not good.
I thought it was fashionable.
Yeah. I hope I can get to sleep tonight.
Brown and now Hines. Hines looking for a seam. Enveloped around the 25. How about we take a look at our 3rd quarter stats? They're presented by Fifth Third Bank. And again, that total yardage number swinging in the late first half to Cincinnati's favor, and they've hung on to that, and the turnover number is enormous.
They have, in the rushing yards, getting close to 100 right there. Points off of turnovers. We talked about the two turnovers, but they translated into 13 points. Of course, the missed extra point, so that's good. Not the missed extra point, but the 2 touchdowns off the turnovers.
Brown has largely redeemed himself.
He really has.
First down for Philip Walker. And it's the running back out of the backfield, Oliver. Eventually brought down by Junior Joseph. Joseph saying before the year, drafted or not, just want to play in the preseason, go to camp, get an opportunity. And Joseph, one of the guys who's put decent stuff on tape. Let's go downstairs. Mike Valpredo on the sideline. Hey, Mike.
Mike, do not tell new offensive line coach Frank Pollock that it is the 4th quarter of the 4th preseason game. He is pushing these guys, and of note, Cedric Ogbuehi, very hard, looking over and reminding these guys to finish plays. And Anthony, you talked about the battle for jobs to see, and Cedric is going back out in the next possession. These guys are not finished yet, and Pollock is definitely not finished coaching tonight.
Reese Fountain, by the way, just pulled down an excellent catch, but to Pollock.
No, it's only going to make the team better. So, I don't expect anything less than an offensive line coach, to keep coaching and teaching here late in the game, the 4th preseason game, because he's trying to get the 5 best offensive linemen to go over to Indianapolis and win that football game. And if that means playing Obuehi and Fisher until the last play of this game, then that's what it's all about right here. You see Cowboys line coach from 15 and 17. So, I'm excited that he is still coaching down there.
So Frank Pollock and this offensive line, hope they'll get another shot with the football. It's 12-point Bengal lead off the timeout. Little field position flip here. Cincinnati a 12-point lead, a 33-yard throw from Philip Walker to Reese Fountain has been reversed. Initially a completed pass. It did hit the ground. We'll show you in a moment how good that play almost was. Walker pumps, and Walker throwing it deep and over Steve Ishmael. So that's incomplete. Let's take a look at the incomplete pass that was overturned a moment ago.
It was a nice throw, nice attempt, right? But you see the football right there hit the ground. It was obvious right there as you see it. Well, the other angle was better, but it did hit the ground.
Alex Erickson is back deep to return. Here goes Sanchez. Erickson will call for fair catch. Taking safe care of this. And the Cincinnati offense trots back out. Well, Anthony, you think about what Marvin Lewis and Bill Lazor were trying to do in this preseason, and we started about a month ago, and you have these grand aspirations. In your mind, what have we found out about the Cincinnati Bengal offense over the last month?
Well, first of all, I think that, you keep those wide receivers healthy. You got some speed along with, the great one, A.J. Green. You got speed in John Ross, and, of course, Malone has shown well. Tyler Boyd, Tyler Eifert didn't get a whole lot of playing time, so hopefully when he starts, he can stay healthy. But, of course, the main question, as it has been all offseason, is the offensive line. Who's going to step up on that right side? Who's going to be that other tackle, the other side of Cordy Glenn? And then, I think the middle's pretty solidified there with Billy Price, the #1 pick. So I think a lot of it for this offense hinges on how well they can pick up this new system, the technique, and really produce.
Hill carried for about 3 yards. And the handoff, patient running out to the 29. That's Hill again. Of course, defensively, you lock down your defensive line for the next 3-4 years in terms of extensions in Gino and Carlos, and well, that gives you a lot of hope for what's next here.
All right, guys, that was it. We thought we had Geno Atkins. I told him, Anthony, he is quick.
Hey, Mike,
Carlos was helping me too.
Be quicker, Mike. Come on.
I had to get someone behind. That was poorly executed. My bad.
We were talking about 4.2 40 speed in the Dallas game. We were asking what that felt like. Only of our group, Mike Valparaiso knows.
That's right.
You should have seen me around 11 o'clock Eastern this morning, Mike. Anthony, I would have made all SC fans proud. I'll leave it at that.
Making your way through the airport trying to catch a flight. I love it.
About C6, I was done, and I had to get to C15.
But I'm impressed because you made it.
Well, yeah, it wasn't pretty, but I made it.
Well, this is caught. Well, Geno Atkins said he'd be one and done in terms of the media. No kidding. Proves true to form. But, Anthony, you think about this defense and what's coming up for them. You feel good about special teams. And I think the defense has potential to be the strength of this team. They're youthful. some key positions, cornerback and safety with Bates stepping in. And you've got this veteran defensive line that's this incredible mix. And you do get the feeling there's something special brewing there.
Well, you mentioned youth in the secondary. That secondary is going to be made better with that pass rush. I mean, when you get the defensive linemen all over the quarterback, that good things start happening. So as a young defensive secondary, they have to be excited to see Dunlap and Johnson and, you know, Willis and Hubbard, you know, Geno Atkins. So, you know, that's the one thing that it's going to make that secondary better.
Jay Morrison had a great article in The Athletic about how everything came together, because Troy and Katie in the front office, I mean, extensions don't happen overnight. You don't call and go, this is the dollar number and this is the years. This is extended conversations, and credit to the front office for getting it done.
A lot of credit, excuse me, especially those two guys. They've been very instrumental in the, you know, in their play, very consistent in their play. So it's good to lock them down.
Walker here, doing no walking at all, juking, and getting out of bounds. It was probably the best possible outcome from a play that looked doomed from the start.
I'll tell you what, he showed some athleticism there as he had to run. Right here, you see him up the middle, going to his right, then all of a sudden he's on the ground, but then he gets up. He must have done some grass drills in high school and college, because he had the ability to get up. Look at him right here. Oh, all right. Teasing them a little bit.
I think his grin was noticeable from space.
Exactly.
He gets out of bounds. Walker to throw, aims for the flat. Speaking of the grass drill, that's a nice grab by the running back, Brandon Oliver. Oliver, native of Miami and a Buffalo guy with over 4,000 yards there.
That was a heck of a grab. That ball was thrown behind a little bit, and Brandon Oliver did a nice job laying on his back, catching it and popping right back up. Wow.
I think for the Colts, 4-12 last year. And yeah, there are questions. It's a team that, yeah, still has T.Y. Hilton, so you got the big receiving threat. And Andrew Luck, if he comes back and he's healthy, that's exciting. This offensive line, a bit of a work in progress, 3 new players, and even like Anthony Costanzo's dealing with an injury. They hope he'll be ready next week. And Marlon Mack dealing with an injury at running back. They hope he'll be ready next week. A change in scheme defensively, and it's a game where for Cincinnati, you still really don't know what they're going to bring to the table next week. 3rd down and 1. Walker will hand off. Oliver barreling forward, and it looks like he has enough for a 1st down.
Mike, you mentioned a lot about this Colts football team, and you're right. I mean, schematically, talent, head coach. So there's a lot of adjustments that have to be made. I mean, it's not like they just come in all of a sudden, bang, they're moving in the right direction. Their quarterback was gone all last year. Now he's coming back. So, you know, they don't have that speed that they once had at the defensive ends with Dwight Freeney and Mathis. And I mean, they got spoiled with those 2 guys.
They got spoiled at, I mean, quarterback and wide receiver and running back, and their center is all world for a decade and a half, and great defensive ends, and Bob Sanders, and it just goes on and on.
Oh, they were loaded. I mean, they were loaded. Now they have to reload.
Yep. So there's some promise behind this Indianapolis Colts team. And we've mentioned it once, we'll mention it a million times today. Somehow these 2 teams have to meet in 10 days. So they've been preparing for each other already for 4 days. Throw is complete, and it's a former Bengal, Kobe Hamilton.
Trayvon Henderson, number 41 on the coverage. Kobe Hamilton making the catch. Take a look right here, and Philip Walker continues to throw some nice footballs right there. Hamilton making the grab. I've really been impressed with Philip Walker, number 5.
Yeah, no surprise what Matt Rule had there at Temple for those years. Throws this on the money. Shontavious Jones gets out of bounds.
and another excellent throw. And you can tell he's having fun. We talked about when he ran that one, he had the big smile.
Yeah.
And here doing a nice job on this drive.
And this is a Colts team that's in 19 consecutive years kept an undrafted free agent. So look at Walker last year, one of those guys in the thick of it. Walker throwing at the goal line. The Colts are into the end zone for a touchdown. That's Eric Swope. Another one of those Indianapolis undrafted free agents of years past. The game is tightened up to a 6-point contest.
And he is just smooth, lays it in there perfectly.
Sanchez will hold. Badgley, who was 5 of 5 on field goals in the preseason, knocks it through. And, well, hold on, folks. 5-point game. Cincinnati 3-0 in the preseason, trying to finish it out the right way. Near the end of the preseason, regular season about a week away. College football's underway. This is, well, the best time of the year. Everybody about to be 0-0 in a couple hours' time. And for Cincinnati fans that have stuck around, they've got a tight one here. 5-point contest with Cincinnati set to receive. And Kermit Whitfield has this bounce up at the 5, and here comes Kermit. And he's lost it at the 20. The ball is free. Chubb says it's Colts ball. Auden Tate says it's Cincinnati's. And in the end, the referees decide it is Cincinnati football. Right on his lily pad there. So it's first down and 10 from the 20. And Woodside will roll out and throw on the comeback route. This through the hands and incomplete. K1 Ross, who actually was released by Indianapolis to make room for Zach Pascal, who scored the earlier touchdown for Indianapolis, their first score of the game.
Tell you what, Logan Woodside had a little heat on this one. Rolling to his left, threw a little high. Good velocity on it.
A guy who went to 2 high schools, 3 quarterback competitions at Toledo. Never knew if he was going to get his shot. Drafted 249th. And he's trying to throw a lead block. Flag is out in the backfield as Flowers, who probably is the more accomplished quarterback of the backfield duo at the present moment, runs that forward.
Offense, number 72, 10-yard penalty replay, second down.
And we'll back up. Justin Murray has returned from injury, but into the doghouse.
And had a little too much cloth in his hands there. He had good position, but then the defensive end starts to run out, and he just keeps a death grip on the guy.
Is that what that's called?
Death grip on Darrell Daniels.
Second down and 20 as it works out for Woodside, who will run the keeper. But Woodside actually came to a Cincinnati area camp in high school and was the MVP of the camp, along with a guy that eventually went on to Notre Dame, Malik Zaire, back in April 2012. Went on to Toledo and had a lot of success there. And a guy hoping maybe the practice squad is open to him with the injury to Matt Barkley. It sort of throws things a little bit into flux. You don't know how long Barkley might be out, and if he is out for the foreseeable future, how that affects the whole competition. A screen here on 3rd and 18. And Flowers is out of bounds at the 20. And Indianapolis is about to have the football in the final 5 minutes with a chance to drive and potentially take the lead.
Well, we've seen a lot of 2-minute drives from the Bengals offense this preseason. Now it's a chance for the Huber to get a nice punt off and give the defense a chance to try to stop this Colts offense here with about 4:39 left in the football game.
Huber at the 5, Hines at the 30. Huber, a knuckleball, bounces on midfield.
Colts with really good field position about the 47-yard line. That was not one of Kevin Huber's best efforts.
Well, New Jersey Group 5 title game. Philip Walker is leading Elizabeth. They've got less than a minute to go, no timeouts, a 99-yard field. And he leads them down to beat Piscataway 37-33 to win a state championship. That's the backdrop in which he comes out in his second NFL season and in a preseason finale with a chance to impress this Colts coaching staff that is new to the equation. And the handoff comes just in time. And an Oliver is near the 43 with Malik Jefferson and Brandon Wilson in on the tackle.
Tell you what, Andrew Brown almost took that handoff. You'll see right here, 93 just flashed right by the running back. Couldn't make the tackle. Great penetration.
Second down and 1. Walker, quick slant. And Ishmael ducks down, takes a contact from Chris Worley and Darius Phillips, and has first down yardage. The Colts are moving.
Tell you what, if I was a coach on that Colts staff, Philip Walker's already done plenty to impress because he just continues to lead them right down the field. Does not seem to get fazed by the situation. Just continues to throw excellent ball after excellent ball.
First and 10 from the 37. And completes. And it's the running back, Brandon Oliver. Wrapped up by Malik Jefferson. Nothing doing there.
Jefferson along with another one of his draft buddies, Sam Hubbard, right there, 94.
Walker drops deep, fires over the middle, it's intercepted! Intercepted by Henderson! And he'll fall down at the 33-yard line. The first real mistake that Walker makes on the day. And the Bengals pounce. And he is down.
He's grabbing that right knee. Not looking good right now, but exactly what this defense has been purpose with all preseason. Turnovers, and Henderson gets one right there. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
I spoke with some Bengals scouts earlier this year, and they just go, he has that starting NFL safety size and physicality that they're looking for. A couple looks at, well, not the physicality, but the finesse.
He's a 6-footer, about 210 pounds, good size. Man, that looked like a non-contact right there. Takes another look at it. Excellent job getting up, catching it with his hands. Starts to plant, and it's right there, it gives out.
He is just short of 3 years from a season-ending knee injury that he suffered against Ohio State. And when we spoke with Duke Tobin before the game, as we always do, he was one of the guys where Duke goes, he needs to have a good game, and I would say he has in this game.
He really has. We've called his name a lot, but right there you see it. It just gives out.
Oh. Came in as one of a handful of undrafted safeties. Tyrese Beverett out of Stony Brook. Another guy, and that face says it all for Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, you hate to see that, man. You hate to see any type of injury, especially here in the preseason. You're trying to get through this game and get on to the season opener.
And you hope that it's nothing too serious. On the other hand, it's a guy who maybe wasn't going to see a ton of time this year, whether he made the 53 or not. A guy that, well, they see a future in some capacity. And that's the other thing, because we speak to Duke Tobin, the director of player personnel, every week. And he tells us we aren't necessarily out looking. Now, if there's someone on the waiver wire we like, okay. But we already feel like we're giving up NFL quality, NFL caliber kind of players because we don't have room. And you know, this is one of the guys who'd be on that mix as the cart comes out for Henderson.
Man, you hate to see that. It's the one part of the sports, and especially football, that, I mean, you love the game, you play the game, and I mean, you understand that, you know, injuries happen, but when you see something like this, or you see someone get hurt, it just goes right through you, and you hate to see it. With these young men, especially out here battling for a spot on the.
And of course, the crowd applauding here, the team feeling so good about their depth at safety. The George Iloka was released and ended up in Minnesota. A lot of that was because of how good Jesse Bates was, the rookie out of Wake Forest. But guys like Henderson, Fedglin, who played well in preseason, give them an inkling that they had options too. Well, here's to a speedy recovery for the Sacramento native who undrafted out of Hawaii. Well, with that backdrop in mind, it is first down and 10 for the Bengals. Trying to salt the clock out. Flag flies in the backfield. Flowers on the carry, and Flowers sees the flag and twists his head in frustration.
Another holding penalty. Way too many holding penalties tonight.
Offense, number 63, 10-yard penalty. First down.
And they've been spread out pretty much throughout the offensive line. It hasn't been one guy, but it's been the entire offensive line.
Well, you think about the running back position, and Flowers has gotten a chance in this game to have 13 carries. Trey Carson and Brian Hill and Mark Walton all seeing significant time. Jarvion Williams, who was great against the Colts last year, unavailable here tonight due to injury. As the stretch for Flowers on 1st and 20. You'd think probably 4 guys are part of that mix, and Gio and Joe, Mixon and Bernard are obvious. Those two have made the roster.
Timeout Indianapolis, the team's first.
Indianapolis will use a timeout.
You're right with Mixon and Bernard, but then you look at Mark Walton, one of the draft picks. Trey Carson, who's been running hard. Brian Hill's been impressive. You know, it's one of those things. It's nice to have depth at position, but it makes it extra hard to see, okay, who are you going to keep, who are you going to get rid of.
Carlos Dunlap, A.J. Green, Andy Dalton, John Ross, all looking forward to the impending season. And yes, Geno Atkins too. 2nd and 19. The penalty was Cincinnati's 7th for 60 yards. And a little dodging and ducking. Robert Jackson bringing down Flowers. Cincinnati hoping they can finish this out.
Timeout Indianapolis, the team's second.
As
30
the
seconds.
Bengals last went 4-0 in the preseason in 2006. They had winning records in the preseason 4 of the 5 years that they had that run through the playoffs. Here's the upcoming home schedule, Anthony, and we talk about those AFC North teams, but also that Miami, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay stretch in October could be season defining.
The West teams coming out, the Broncos, the Raiders, you got the Buccaneers, the Saints. It's a pretty good home schedule. You get to see some pretty good football teams here in Paul Brown Stadium.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing there.
Campfire. Well, 3rd and 16. This is a must-have for Indianapolis. And Flowers gets cut down at the 31 by Lindsey Pipkins, who came into the equation late for Indianapolis in this preseason. And, well, the Colts, with the 2-minute warning here, won't burn their final timeout, so they'll have a little under 2 minutes. And a timeout to play with, as they'll try and end Cincinnati's terrific 3-0 start to the preseason. 5-point Cincinnati lead, final 2. Malone coming up with what was a massive touchdown in the grand scheme of this game. Let's take a look at our airing it out pass of the game, presented by Ultimate Air Shuttle. It's all about the landing here.
It really is. Jeff Driscoll to Josh Malone, number 80. Driscoll's had a nice preseason, doing a nice job once again tonight. Taking over, I think, a little earlier than he was probably scheduled with the injury to Matt Barkley.
And that's airing it out, presented by Ultimate Air Shuttle. VIP travel for the cost of commercial. Well, Cincinnati will punt it away. Huber for Hines. Watches this bounce out in front of him. This takes a big Bengal bounce inside the 15. Well, Anthony, we have a phenomenal crew. We call it the shortest season in broadcast television. Only 3 preseason games. So a big thanks to everybody involved in our telecast here, from up here in the booth to the truck to all the camera people all around the stadium. The folks in public relations with the team that make sure we try to pronounce a number of names wrong as possible. PJ and Pete and Emily and all the work they do. Brian Sells and Duke Tobin that always leaves us more informed than we started. Dan Horde and Dave Lapham and Wayne Boxmiller will have the radio call all year long. I think I echo a couple sentiments there, as Walker will fire this deep for Jones and watch it fly out of bounds.
Now I got to echo everything you've said. This has been again, it is the shortest season. I've enjoyed getting to know you, working with you. It's been fun. Been fun, and no, I love everybody working here. I've been doing it for several years, and you know, as long as they keep me coming back, hopefully we'll continue to do this.
Well, Walker and the Colts get spotted some yardage here. 5-point game for Cincinnati here. Mentioned it earlier, 4 teams, flag is down. 4 teams went 4-0 in the preseason last year, but the results weren't necessarily fantastic. But historically, good preseasons lead to good seasons.
First down, clock and a snap.
In the aggregate. That's a false start on the official.
It's preseason for him too.
Philip Walker will fire this deep and misfire. That was Jones again, the target. And the coverage from Goodwin.
C.J. Goodwin's been doing a nice job tonight. We've called his name several times on coverage. One of the guys that was going to get plenty of playing time tonight. And, I think he's shown himself well.
Goodwin, 3 different colleges, 3rd year in the league. Guy who switched positions in college, finished in Division II. It's in coverage at the top of your screen, and he's thrown at here, bobbled, and Ishmael is out of bounds. Another incomplete pass, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
There's some close pressure there by Simeon Robinson. Almost got there for the sack, but man, that was almost a heck of a catch there too by Ishmael. Little juggling act there. But again, Goodwin was there to make sure that he did not make the catch.
Ishmael comes off. A timeout in 1:32 to play with for Indianapolis. Philip Walker rolling away under pressure. Robinson in pursuit. Thrown and caught short of the 1st down marker. And it's Ross Travis, the tight end. And this is go for it territory for the Colts on 4th and 6.
I tell you what, number 63, Nick Callender, was fortunate he didn't get a holding penalty against Robinson.
Robinson gave him a nice little fake outside, and it's, watch this. He kind of neck collars in there a little bit. But Robinson with the nice outside in move. Hot pursuit of the quarterback there.
Well, this will do it. If Cincinnati gets a stop, Colts looking for a first down on 4th and 6. Thrown over the middle, it's caught. And it's Travis, the tight end, shrugging off the defender and getting out of bounds. And how about the coverage man on that play? It's Jared Murphy.
Amazing. Once again, Murphy trying to make the tackle, does enough to get him out, but Phil Walker doing an excellent job right there, hitting Ross Travis for that one.
Murphy coming right out of left field. A wide receiver out of Miami, Ohio.
That was a man. I saw number 9 out there, and I'm thinking, wait,
there's another?
He's a wide receiver.
Try out the last 2 days of rookie minicamp. He got a call on the first day of rookie minicamp, Friday night, and they said, be here tomorrow. They saw him earlier, and they just said, okay, stay in shape. You never know. Got called in these last couple weeks of training camp, and he thought he'd try a different position on for size 2. Travis jumping back to his feet as Walker on the game has thrown for 235, a touchdown, a pick, and has gone 18 of 30 in what certainly Colts fans hope is his last foray this season if Andrew Luck can stay healthy.
Yep.
There's Murphy.
By rule, an injury inside 2 minutes is a charged timeout.
Well, that'll take away some of the
This is the
clock
third
flexibility.
And final timeout, Indianapolis.
This is a team that returns less than a dozen players in their 2-deep since Chris Ballard took over the general manager. This is a totally reformed Colts team. So long the Bill Polian team, the Tony Dungy team, new era. And they're trying to get a win here to close out the preseason. They've got 1st and 10 from the 28. Walker stands in, throws it deep. It's caught for the touchdown. Kobe Hamilton. The former Bengal at Paul Brown Stadium scoring the biggest touchdown of the game. And Walker's thrown his 2nd touchdown.
What a heck of a throw by Walker to Kobe Hamilton. Plenty of time. Tosses it right. Oh my goodness. Murphy back there trying to come back across to make the play, but a little too late. Wow.
Yeah, that's what Philip Walker looks like on his seat, looking downfield. He sees that thing get caught.
Boy, he stood right in there, a little pressure late, but lays it up to Hamilton for a touchdown.
Well, the Colts are playing with fire here in the 4th preseason game by going for 2. 1-point game, the Colts' first lead of the contest. Walker. That pick didn't work out. Now he throws it low and incomplete. 5 plays, 86 yards in 36 seconds for the Colts. This kid's got moxie. How about it?
I tell you what, from the first series, he impressed me, and he continued. The way he threw the football, the way he ran the offense, the poise he had back there.
I was trying to tell you how good he is late in games. I was telling you.
Tell you what, he is. We had the scouting report on him. Gets it right over. Murphy coming over, not in time.
The executive producer of tonight's broadcast, Brian Sells. The coordinating producer, David Ashbrock. Tonight's game produced by Ken Weaver and directed by David Ashbrock. Associate producers for Bengals Television, Matty Fennell, Ryan Holmes, and Scott Simpson, with engineering support provided by Rick Tenenfeld. And, well, Jonathan Brown, who's potentially Johnny on the spot.
Let's see if he gets the chance.
Let's see how far the Bengals try and have him kick the potential game winner from, if we get there. Kermit Whitfield this time will take a knee. And here comes the offense. Brown is hit from 55 in preseason.
He's loosening up. Let's see. See what Logan Woodside can do here. We have 2 timeouts. Minute 12.
Another offseason here for Cincinnati where they have the world's seemingly best duo of kickers. Bullock impressive in his own right, but well, Brown could be called upon here in a pinch. And with a 1-point deficit, the first deficit of the game for Cincinnati, we see Logan Woodside step into the spotlight at Paul Brown Stadium in downtown Cincinnati. Woodside fires out of the backfield, and this is caught by Jordan Franks. He's a little hobbled, and he's calling for a substitute. Mason Schreck sprinting on, and now he'll come off. Woodside stepping away from pressure, and he's wrangled to the ground. Lalile, and Cincinnati will
timeout. Cincinnati, the team's second.
Their second
30-second timeout.
Protection breaks down right there, right up the middle as Logan Woodside tries to scramble a little bit. This is where you really get tested as an offensive lineman. Your pass blocking skills. I mean, it's just defensive linemen just lay back and they are just in a sprinter stance and going.
Third down and 14. This is 4-down territory. So can they try and just make this intermediate, or do they go for the whole enchilada? Woodside. And it's caught by Whitfield. Rolls out of bounds, and indeed gets about half of it back. Gain of 8, 4th and 6.
Nice protection, quick throw by Woodside on an out. And Kermit Whitfield catches it and rolls out to stop the clock.
How the tables have turned. The Colts now have a chance to end this one. Woodside back to throw. Fires over the middle. It's incomplete through the hands of Schreck. And the Colts take over on downs. And Cincinnati set to fall to 3-1.
Ball was thrown just a little high with a little heat on it.
Well, they do avoid that 4-0 curse from last year.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think Logan Woodside wish he had that one back. Maybe got a little lower. Wasn't crazy high, but still a little high with a little speed on it. Schreck couldn't come down with it.
Well, proud moment for Philip Walker. Drops to one knee, and we'll see this thing through. Well, preseason is officially in the books, and the Colts look forward to their Week 1 opponent, the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's, I don't know if I've ever heard of that or seen that before. The final preseason opponent, and at least they do have, 3 or 4 extra days before they have to travel down, out 74 to Indy.
An assistant coach told me months ago when the schedule came out, we're either going to throw the most exotic offensive package ever conceived or the most vanilla offense ever conceived. This probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. But the crazy thing about it, I mean, you can't totally change what you're running during the game, what you've been. So they're going to see some of the stuff, you just got to execute. I mean, both teams will see what both teams have run offensively and defensively. But it happens during the season. You get all the tape and you watch them. So now it's for real. Preseason's over. Now they get a chance to get the starters in there, and they won't be taking a rest during the game.
Cut down day is just 2 short days away, and the regular season is 10 days away. We'll wrap this one up. A come from behind win for the Indianapolis Colts Bengals move to 3-1 in the preseason, finishes 27-26.